Right, we're joined by Sir John Kirwan, who runs the Mitey, the Mitey Foundation. JK, nice to see you. Welcome.
Mate, I was just thinking about you this morning, driving in, and the last time you and I spent some time together, they flew us into Kaikoura. You were, that was like this most...
That was freaky, wasn't it?
That was like
you were
scary.
Awesome that day.
It was inspiring and scary and all those
Remember
things.
That town hall meeting? So there was just been the earthquake, and we went in there, we chopped it down. God, I don't know how we were allowed to get down there, but anyway, amazing the island had just shifted, such incredible movement, and the people, they were great people, but they wanted to talk to people.
Yeah,
we had that town hall meeting.
Yeah, exactly.
And I remember doing the live show, walking down the street, and it was brilliant. Yeah, thank you, Westpac.
Yeah,
they helped us get down there.
They did.
Remember that? Yeah. So, what are you up to?
I'm a granddad. Yeah, so at the moment I'm on night shift, 10 till 1, mate, like, you know.
Are you really?
Yeah.
You're rostered in, you're tired?
Yeah, I'm rostered in. No, I'm loving it, it's fantastic. So yeah, little CJ's 12 weeks old. It's a moment in time, you know, you reflect. I'm getting old, Duncan, you know, like, and there's moments in your life that sort of push that age into your face, you know. I was changing the nappies of my daughter the other day, feels like last week, and now she's a mum. So
yeah, it happens.
But besides that, I'm really, really good, mate. Yeah.
I mean, when you talk about that moment in time, it's actually a really interesting thing you've just said, because I'm more aware of these moments in time now, because they actually may not come again. So you pick your moment in time and be happy in that space. Don't be rushing off to the next thing. Just enjoy that moment.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've been very fortunate in my life. I don't know if you'd say depression's being fortunate, but you know, coming through that, then you know, I remember my mum, I went to her one day and I said, "Mum, I'm dead," you know. And she said, "Well, the good thing about you're dead, son, is you're still here." I said, "Well, thanks, Mum." You know, that was what my mum was like. And she said to me, "Son, can you change yesterday?" And I said, "No, Mum, I can't change yesterday." And she said, "Well, can you tell me what's going to happen tomorrow?" And I said, "No, Mum, I can't." And she said, "Well, just be great today, son. That's all you need to worry about." And I've never, ever forgot that. And then the other thing she said to me was, you need to smell the roses, you know, and if you're my age, you got brought up on sayings, you know, and...
grass ain't greener.
Yeah, don't cry over spilt milk.
Yeah. I was brought up. I'm still brought up by that.
Exactly.
It haunts me.
Yeah, exactly. So I drove home thinking, what the hell is that, right? And basically I decided that my smelling of the roses was going to be a hot shower, right? Yeah. So I got up the next morning and I felt like shit, you know, I'm in the middle of depression. So how do you think the rest of my day went?
Pretty good.
No, it went like shit.
Because?
Yeah, but just because it did, because I was depressed. But
but
I had the shower
to
look forward to. So all of a sudden, I thought, shit, I'm like, my day was shit. Oh, I'm looking forward to the shower. And then I started building on that, right? And that's how I sort of started.
So you started by looking forward to events, to looking forward to a moment.
A coffee. I just had a beautiful coffee.
You did. You down that quickly.
Yeah. Well, there's not a lot to it. It's a double espresso.
Exactly.
So
That's
right. First thing when you get rid of the milk.
Well, I saw them bringing it into you. And I said, "Is this really what you wanted?" You said, "Yes." How do you? Because you obviously you talk about mental health. You talk about how you cope. Were there times for you where you didn't think that you could see the end of this day?
Yeah, I wanted to die, mate. Yeah, I wanted to jump out of a window. So
because it had become all too consuming?
Yeah, so depression does a few things. Takes away self-esteem, takes away self-confidence, takes away your enjoyment in life. So and another thing that happens is a minute feels like an hour, an hour feels like a day, and a day feels like a week. So what would happen is, and you add anxiety attacks on top of that. So sometimes at the end of the day, I was just so tired. And the other thing is, I hadn't told anyone. So I've been in a room of 300 people and felt completely alone and isolated because
I know that feeling.
I'm living this hell.
Is this when it's really silent, but it's so noisy in your head?
Mate, just doesn't stop, right? And so for me, I was just sick of fighting. And I always say to people now, stop fighting it, but never give up, if that makes sense, because I was fighting it and that was taking all my energy because I didn't accept it and I didn't want it in my head. It was like having this alien in my head. And, it came to a head in Argentina. I was just sick of fighting and I wanted to jump out the window and Michael Jones didn't realise at the time, said, JK, you've got a good heart. And he saved my life.
Oh, he said he's an amazing man.
Yeah, he is.
Amazing man, yes. He had a bit to do with him, man.
Yeah.
He is, to me, he's right up there.
Yeah.
With you guys, is top notch.
Yeah, I mean,
amazing. You're
community first, eh?
People first.
Yeah.
Yeah, people first.
Yeah.
And your heart still shows because of what you do in this space. I wonder what you're telling me is you learn to live with it. You learn to roll with it rather than fight it and push it back. You said, this is me. Yeah,
I accepted it. And then what I decided was, if I accept it, then I'm going to be great at it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so if this is me, so I stopped fighting it. I also invited...
How long did it take to stop fighting it?
5 years.
You can't just get like that. No, exactly.
5 years. And that really interesting, you and I are having a chat off here about how useless men are about talking about shit. And when I started talking about it, right, that was a relief because then I stopped feeling alone. The second thing is I went to a psychiatrist, and people go, oh, wow. And I say, yeah, it was really the most courageous thing I've ever did. But I also talk to my mates and I say, oh, you've hurt yourself playing cricket or rugby or touch rugby or surfing or whatever you're into, right? Or even at work. Do you go to the physio? Oh, shit, yeah. Do you take anti-inflammatories? Oh, shit, yeah, man. And I say, well, the brain's no different. And what the psychiatrist taught me and the pathway she put me on, A, saved my life, but B, has taken me from surviving to thriving.
Yeah. So what you're saying is that we address things that you can see openly, like wounds and pulled muscles and things, but we have never addressed properly the brain and how it interacts with us as a human being. And we're doing this finally.
Yeah.
You're leading the space in this.
Totally. I mean, I think for me is what I learned, getting back to fighting it. So I accepted it. She gave it a name. I was an anxiety-based depressant.
Yep.
Okay, so, it's a thing.
It's not. It's everywhere.
Yeah, it's not insanity.
Yeah.
Because, my reference to mental health was One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yes.
I think, if I talk to the doctor, he's going to lock me up with Jack Nicholson and Chief, the big American indie guy.
Well, we think it's all about asylums and nutters coming to get us.
Exactly. So, but it was a real fear.
Yeah.
That fear stopped me talking, right? So the most courageous thing I've ever done was going to tell my doctor, who's my All Black doctor, who we've just about virtually lived together on tour, but I wouldn't talk to him. I go and see him in his private practice, and you know what courage was? I think he's going to ring. I think I'm going to be out in King Seat. There used to be a mental home.
They're going to put you in the back of the van,
totally.
and you're going to be in the white coat.
Me and Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, and that's it though, with the noise of silence.
Yeah, totally. And so that people say, what's courage? Well, courage for me, I was so bad that I thought that was going to happen. And Doc says to me, oh, no, JK, it's an illness, not a weakness. Eh?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, it's called, I think you're an anxiety-based depressant, JK. Oh, what?
It's quite common now, isn't it? This is common, right?
Yeah. But back then I'm going, shit, I've never heard of this.
Yeah.
I didn't know this was a thing.
You're going to lock me up.
Yeah. And he says, no, you can go home. But the stupid thing is, he said, JK, I think you should go and see a psychiatrist, and I think you should take antidepressants. I said, piss off, Doc. How stupid, right? So this is the same player. This is the same player that's going to the physio 3 times a week with sore ankle. Oh, JK, you've twisted your ankle. Would you like 400 milligrams of Voltaren to play on Saturday? Shit, yes, please, Doc. Yes. Yeah, and why don't you jab it as well so I don't feel shit?
Please.
Yes, I'll take all that shit. But anything from a brain, no, I'm all good.
So we never wanted to look after our brains.
Well, we don't.
We didn't
know.
think we had to.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I used to drown it in alcohol.
Yeah, well, see, that's the worst thing.
That's the worst.
We've all done that.
Yeah, that's the worst thing.
So I worked out only in my 40s that wasn't the way to go. So you spent 20 years doing it. Yeah. And then you realise, no, this is a recipe for disaster because you don't make good decisions. No,
but the interesting thing for me, and this is, and I sort of understand addiction because it worked for a few hours.
Yeah, okay, because
that's the attraction. It numbs me and it quietens my brain. Yeah. And then I felt like shit and go backwards 100 miles an hour the next day. So you wake up with guilt and you've done some stupid things. But the trouble is that for that 2 hours, and I think that's why I was so attracted to it. That's why it's so hard for me to not use it as a vice.
Because you wake up feeling ashamed of yourself.
Totally.
And for stuff you probably didn't need to be honest. But because of the way you were feeling, it took you back real quick.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. And then,
Do you reckon this is widespread? And you guys go into schools and you guys speak to kids and everything. Do you see this?
I think I see a society that is yet to work out how we deal with our mental health, and that's why I'm here to talk about Mitey, because I just think that we need a better way.
How does it work? What are you doing with Mitey?
Well, Mitey, you'll be interested in this, Duncan. It came from failure, mate. I woke up 6 years ago, and I read the Herald, and two things struck me: our suicide rate, and we are the second worst mental health stats in the developed world.
And almost first.
Yeah, and I go, shit, I failed. Right now, failure doesn't worry me. Don't think I'm bloody staying awake at night, think I'm a failure. The day I embraced failure was the day I started having more success. So all I did is I looked at it and went, wow, my teacher of failure means that I've been the face of this for this long and it hasn't worked. What do I need to do? So I went away. Coming back to One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah.
Right? So
this was bad for us. And Jaws as well never helped us. And you surf.
Exactly. Especially if you're at Waihi at the moment. There's a few local flat.
I know.
Yeah, I know.
Don't go South End.
Yeah. So I go, okay, like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest was my serious, like that's how I identified, that's what I looked at. So I said, what do I need to do, right, to create something in our schools where the kids grow up knowing that it's a thing? I went round, raised $250,000, went around the world looking to see if there was a curriculum in mental health. There isn't.
No.
Right? The other thing I learned is that I facilitated for 12 months, got a whole lot of people in the room, marketing execs, tech entrepreneurs, psychiatrists, psychologists, teachers, headmasters. And the first thing I thought is I'd create something for secondary school, right? Because that's where the big risk is.
Yeah.
First thing they said, too late.
Yep, you got to go much earlier.
Primary schools,
yeah.
Right? Second thing is the teachers are our greatest asset and they're under the most pressure.
Oh, they don't have the tools either.
Exactly. So raised $250,000, went to the University of Auckland, and I said, can you build us a curriculum?
What did they say?
Yep, we can. We've got all the info. So raised some more money, and they built a curriculum. We call that Mitey. And the system is we send teachers into school to look at the school from a holistic point of view, but then our teachers teach the teachers how to put the mental health curriculum right across the other parts of the curriculum.
You're empowering them, giving them the tools. Yeah.
I always love sayings because I always try and understand what they mean. So, it takes a village to grow a child. Yeah. You know what your village is?
I truly believe in that, and I'm part of that. Do you?
Totally. But this is what I say your village is. Your extended family, your family, sometimes that might not work, but your village is your school. Sometimes it's the safest place to be. So the idea that a village grows up is the teachers are the most important people, right? I say to people, and I'll ask you this question, right? You're a successful man. Who was your biggest influence in your past?
And as far as journalism goes, my sixth form journalism teacher, Paul Furner, I remember his name. There we go.
There you go. So normally people respond, a parent, a teacher, or a coach. That's how they respond, right? And sometimes you're lucky and you have all three.
Because they're in your life. The teacher will spend more time and hours with you than your parents will.
Yeah, and so you're probably a little shit at school, right? And this teacher
disruptive
goes,
and talkative.
Totally. This guy, this teacher goes, wow, there's a talent. Right, there's someone who can really do something. So you think about that for your kids. If you go to school, your school is where you feel safe. The school is where you're going to learn. The school is where you're going to get challenged.
It's your boundaries too.
Exactly. And so the teacher is the most important people in that village from that age. So we've built this curriculum. We go into the schools and we're teaching our tamariki to understand mental health.
And see, I reckon there's been a rise, especially in the last few years, of anxiousness or anxiety amongst kids.
Totally.
I've seen it with my own kids.
Rise. Yeah, totally.
I've seen it with my own kids. And it's fair too, because the world's changed so much for them.
Oh, look.
All these settings have changed.
Well, it's social media, right?
Oh, that's killing people. It is.
It is literally killing people. But I think there's a bigger picture. So technology has overtaken our ability to parent and to teach, right?
And this horse is bolted, by the way.
Well,
I think
Well, I don't know. What do we do?
We fight it and deal with it.
I read a article out of America last week, and they asked 15,000 children what they wanted from their parents. Guess what it was?
More time?
No, to put their phones down.
Yeah.
Which
We
probably
are to blame.
equates to more time, right?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I think that it is overtaken. I mean, I love the cell phone, right? I can see my kids overseas. I can do a whole lot of things in it. Like, it's with me all the time. But it tries to control me.
Yeah. So
right?
don't let it.
No, exactly. Don't ever take it to your coffee date, mate.
Yeah.
It's a shit coffee date. You know why? Because you watch the phone and you don't enjoy your coffee.
I hate that. I see this every time I go out. I see families that are at a table in a restaurant or cafe and no one's talking.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
I think it's sad. So
but
just
that's education.
Have some boundaries.
Yeah, it's just education.
Yeah.
And like when I say technology's overtaken us, I think it's way harder to be a child nowadays than it was in our age.
Well,
I think it's harder to be a parent.
Well, I think it's so too. For that reason, we had Encyclopedia Britannica and whatever our parents said.
Yeah,
we never
totally.
had this computer.
Yeah.
They have everything going on.
Yeah, Uncle Google, like you go to Google for anything. And there's lots of positives around it. But what we do need to be able to do is learn the risks. Our kids need to understand those risks, but they also need to understand how to cope with those risks. I mean, at our age, if we didn't get invited to a party, we found out on Monday.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? We
What
didn't
did you
get
guys
any
do?
photos. Yeah, what did you guys do? Why didn't you invite me? Oh, shit, just forgot.
Yeah. I'll see you there at 6 o'clock, and you were there.
Yeah. So now you get the photos, you feel excluded.
Yeah, and that's driving all sorts of behaviours. I see it with my own kids, yeah.
Exactly. So what we need to be able to do is teach our kids how to deal with that sort of stuff, how to deal with the emotion that come with all those things.
And you've seen progress with what you've
it's been
able to do?
absolutely amazing. It's been a really neat journey. I've got an amazing group of people. We now have got 22. We're in 200 schools. There's 1,400 primary schools in New Zealand. Our goal is to reach them all.
Wow.
Our goal is
Huge.
to take New Zealand from one of the worst in the developed world to one of the best, and we think we can do that by a mental health curriculum, teaching our kids how to deal with life.
Yeah. JK, good to see you. You're doing positive stuff, amazing stuff, and I reckon you'll probably get there in the end. It just takes so much time to get through those schools, doesn't it? 1,400 schools. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, well,
It's reach.
Yeah, you got to have a goal, mate. Otherwise, you don't get out of bed.
Yeah. There's always surfing.
True.
Nice to see you, mate. Good catch up.
Lovely to see you.